One of those days I want to just pack my bag and jump on a flight, be in Jamaica, and find something else to do. Anyways, stick around for this report to find out why am I feeling like this. Yeah, man. Hey, good morning and welcome to my live report. I want to say, wish I could say it's a beautiful Sabbath morning here in the Philippines, but it's not. That storm continues to create havoc down the road. It's south of me, so most of what I'm experiencing, it's just overcast right now. The winds were pretty strong last night, but they're not. It's pretty much calm right now, and I'm just sharing this live to some groups that I'm a member of so that they can come and check it out. If it's your first time here, give a favor, follow, subscribe to the channel. Let me know where you are watching from. And please share the live with family and friends and those that you think that can benefit from these stories. If you've never seen me before, I'm Davin Bennett, missionary pilot here in the Philippines. And I got few more places I want to share this live. If you're watching from my personal account, by the way, I will not be able to flash your comments on the screen. So you have to come over to my page. So if you're sharing anything and you want me to see it and be able to flash it on my screen, you have to come over to my channel itself, whether YouTube or my Facebook platform. Okay, I'm looking for one more. There we go. Alright. Um, yeah, I'm always telling you guys to share it with with uh, different groups or whatever places you're at. So I want to do that myself. Um, okay, one last thing here. Okay, there we go. All right, we're all set. And shout out to those who are watching from Instagram. So those who are tapping the screen on Instagram, welcome. Feel welcome, guys. If you see my platform right now, I got one, two, three, four monitors that I'm monitoring. I got two phones and an iPad, and everything is what it is. Now, don't be fooled. I am just giving you guys the best side of my face right now. But honestly speaking, I'm really mad and frustrated a little bit. And as the report progresses, you will see why. So, welcome to Mission Flight Report. This is season 9. So, if you've been following me all these years, we are coming up on our fourth year of doing these reports. So, we're at season 9, and this is episode 2 of season 9. Okay. And the caption is I have no words right now. But if I came on here and I'm gonna be mute the whole time, I may just be an emotional wreck, which would not be good. But you'll see why I'm feeling the way that I am feeling right now. That being said, season Nine will continue until December. So we'll end the year with season nine, and then come next year, we will start season 10. All right. So each season only lasts for 6 months, and that ties in with our insurance. Our insurance is every 6 months we have to pay our insurance. It's about 2,000 something dollars every 6 months, or 4,000 something, or about 5K plus each year. So that's what creates our different seasons. I hope my audio quality is rich, awesome, and you can hear me well. That being said, let's go into the report. A couple announcements. Our beloved merch is out, guys. Yes, we got merch. They're out. They're here, right? So we definitely have them. They come in different colors, shape, and size, right? So merch is out. I told you guys reach out to me, send me a private message so you can know how you can avail of these merches. We're not selling them, just so you know. We're giving them away for free on a donation basis. Yeah. So it's one way we plan to, and this is only available now in the Philippines. We're still exploring the American option, and outside of the Philippines, we're still exploring that. But if you're in the Philippines and you would like to have one of our free merch, reach out to us and we will tell you how you can get that. We're giving them away on a donation basis. So you donate to support what we do, you will get a free merch. And if you're lucky enough and you're not too picky, um, we might be able to give you your favorite color. Yes. So give us a message. Now, where you can do that, it's very simple. Uh, let's see. I want to share my screen with you guys, and I'm using a little bit of a different setup right now, and it's yeah, I gotta navigate my way around right now, guys. So my word. So bear with me. Um. Okay. Oh Lord. I don't even know how to go back to this stuff. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, I found what I'm looking for. Allow to share screen. Yes. Okay. Oh no. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Allow to share window. Oh man. This is bad. So the software won't allow me to share my. Oh, this is not good. Okay. It's like I want to oh Lord. Um yeah, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I think this new setup is the worst right now. But anyway, bear with me a little bit, guys. I gotta navigate my way around. This stuff is really stressing me right now. Um, okay, okay. All right, I got it. I got it. I got it. They just change up all the like almost every week I come on here, it's a different feature. Crazy thing. And I know now I cannot show you guys the screen that I want to show you. Lord have mercy. All right, this is our contact info. So we have an office now, guys, Batangas Dispatch. There's a Facebook page for it as well. So if ever you're getting any message from a Facebook account called Batangas Dispatch, it's not a scam. It's actually our office Facebook account. Okay. Some of you have been sending requests for missions. That's what we use. That's what we give out to people who inquire about how they could contact us for help, whether it be a medevac or a cadaver transport, or you have medicine or something you'd like to move around the Philippines, and air is the fastest and most convenient for you. So that's what you can do. For also those who have sent in requests that you'd like to get one of our free merch, um, reach out to us there, Pamas Batangas Dispatch. So we have our email account, we have smart phone number, we have WhatsApp, we have Viber, and of course there's the Flying by Faith logo. So it's not a scam. Some of you were messaging me asking, is this mine or not? It is. It is. There's an awesome team behind. I'm getting old. I cannot do everything by myself. So there's an awesome team working in the background to make sure that the office stuff is taken care of. And it's raining right now. Gonna get cold, and I'm sure gonna definitely could use a cup of tea. Anyways, so yeah, so that's our official office information that you can use to reach out to us at whatever is most convenient for you. So we ended the last report where we brought a patient to, we transported a patient, I believe it was the 4th of September. Yes, 4th of September, we brought a patient to Antique, and we had the opportunity to meet these doctors and the official admin of the hospital there in Antique. And this was the public hospital. So they have two main ones. There's a public hospital, and there's one owned and operated by the Catholic Church. We went to both, and we got a nice reception in the public hospital. They're doing fine. They comfortably told me that they don't have a need for air ambulance for Antique itself, due to the fact that their facility can handle whatever comes at them. And if for any reason they can't, patients are able to take a land trip over to Iloilo City. I think they said it takes a couple hours. But they did recommend an island south of Mindoro, small little island south of Mindoro. They have an airstrip there owned by the mining company. So Doc Honor right there in the jacket told me that that island has a very, very much, they have a lot of challenge getting transportation to come to Antique. Most of them come to Antique, but the challenge is getting scheduled and being able to take that, you know, long boat ride to get to Antique. So we're gonna plan a courtesy call to that place. So if you're from that little island, I forgot, it has a weird name. It's south of San Jose, Mindoro, middle of the ocean, and that's where the doctor recommend that we try and introduce ourselves. These guys were awesome. They were very helpful with getting the plane prep and for departure out of Antigua. As we always tell you guys, do the work and God will provide the means. Ministry is very tough, it has its severe challenges. But if we embrace the idea that God is the one who will always provide the means. At the time, earlier September, I told you guys I was having some challenges with the airplane, and I was able to get some help. Like, God really provided some means. That just shocked me, actually. It was really, I mean, you would think after doing this for so many years, 7 years to be exact, that you would kind of get used to the ups and downs and the challenges of ministry. But I just never get used to it. Every challenge comes with something very unique. And, it's one of those things where you really have to be praying. Um, the weather had its challenges for flights. So in this report, we did have some really interesting challenges with weather. After I got that last mission done, I was able to safely get back. The weather kind of, gave a break, and I was able to get home. But there was a typhoon coming, so we had to just get as much as we could get done. A family had reached out to me for a flight. Now, before I share that with you guys, some of you might be wondering, when the weather is bad or the airplane is down, What do I do for flights? You might be wondering, what do I do to keep myself occupied? And I'm about to share that with you. It's gonna shock you, just so you know. So we're gonna share this one. Okay. So here's my life. Yep, that's what I do when I'm not flying missions, guys. Literally. And I actually, so I have this. Some of you guys that donated to purchase it. Basically, it's a grass cutter, Steel FS 250. Yeah, it's a beast. So I just knock on people's door and I see their grass and I go cut it for free. It's one of my little thing. And the reason why I do it for free was I had asked you guys to partner with me to buy it, and it was a Filipino lady who is overseas that saw my website and Facebook, and she messaged me and said, "What needs do you have?" And I said, "I'm trying to get this grass cutter," and donations came in. I bought it, and it's doing what I said it's supposed to do. So whenever I have some downtime, I keep my late neighbor's lawn nicely manicured, and last time I cut it for him, he bought me a nice cake from SNR. That was kind of nice. Yeah, I got a nice cake from SNR, basically. So that was nice. So that's one of the things that I do. Another thing is I have a team with me, and these guys go in the community and they distribute some food. So whenever we get general donation, we give away rice. We're doing some research on how we could buy a sack of mungo, so we'll have carbohydrates and protein, and we'll be able to give that to families. So, and then the team also, yeah, they do natural remedy, charcoal, and different things to heal wounds. They'll massage people, help them wash their dishes, clean their house, listen to them and their stories. We found one young lady who was actually depressed and suicidal. They were able to sit, talk to her, and encourage her. And now they keep in touch over the phone. There's some community, they're very remote. They don't have the option to send their kids to school, so the guys are offering free tutorial. So they're teaching them how to read and write. So we're pretty busy in the community. It's what we do outside of line. This is one of my little one that I do close to home, find neighbors, cut their grass, and the guys are doing the other aspects of that. The first request that came up was one that it really touched the hearts of many around the world. Um, and it's, I was able to get the name, but we're not going to share his name, but some of you know him. This is what's happening with this teenager, 15 years old. He's definitely having some challenges, and we were called in to help him. But the weather wasn't the best at the time, so we had to wait for the good weather. um, I think some say that it's a birth defect, some hole in the heart, and somehow he just finds himself swelling and it's getting more and more swollen. And so, the facility, and I got some updates on this patient actually as I dialogue with the nurse. Apparently, last year he had gone to the hospital there on the island, but somehow they did not refer them to go out. So at this point, he's getting worse, and now they've recommended that he go out. So I went to this place to pick him up. It's an abandoned area. I later found out that they don't have an operating permit. The runway's fine. I mean, people come and go on it with motorcycle and vehicle a little bit. These locals came out to take pictures with me. I guess they haven't seen an airplane in a long time. So they were really wanting to take a picture. So shout out to these guys. While I was there waiting, the weather kept deteriorating, guys, and so it was a Sabbath actually. It was a Sabbath that I went there, and I was there. I landed around maybe 9 or 8 something, 9 o'clock, and up until 1:30 was my cutoff time. I said the weather. I mean, you could hear the thunder rolling, and it's coming closer and closer. And then I said, man, I cannot be stranded here for the night because I don't think the airplane is going to be safe. So I would rather divert to the nearest airport, which was about 15 minutes away. And so that's what I did. I closed off that and I moved the airplane to another airport. This is San Vicente, Palawan. So that's where I relocated the plane, secured it for the night, and then I went into town to try and survive. I've never been stranded here before, and it was an intense trip for me to be able to, I mean, to be stranded there. Basically, it was challenging. So that's a little of the weather that I'm just diverting around stuff. And I got to San Vicente, parked the plane for the night. This was the nice limousine that picked me up that time when I was stranded there. It cost me about 300 pesos, yeah, because that's just what was available. So I didn't even have much money. I rushed home, rushed out to do the mission, and I did not have much financially. So fortunately, there was food. I found food, and I found a place to stay, and I survived. This is a video of the next morning. So this was the Sunday morning. That's the ambulance behind me, pulling up with the patient on board, and we're about to load him up with the nurse and the mom. Uh, That is when we got there. So about 2 hours later, we safely landed in Sangli Point Airport in Cavite. Um, let's see, just to give you some photos. So that's a video, but we want to share some photos instead. Window, this one. Yeah. That's nurse. She did an awesome job with the patient. Really, really good job with the patient. So I was really happy for her. The fact that it's her first time to fly with me, and she was able to, yeah, there you go, that's a better alignment. She was able to do an amazing job with the patient. He was on oxygen, stable. He fell asleep at one point. He didn't want to lay down. He sat up for the whole 2 hour flight. The mom was up front with me. It was a little bit emotional loading them up because somehow they thought that the mom and the dad could go with me, but I told them that it's only a four-seater airplane. Everyone has to be buckled in with a seatbelt. I can carry five, but I need to get a middle seat. So I have the seatbelt already, but I need to get a middle seat so that I can have a small one in the middle. Until then, I can only take four. So when the patient needs a nurse, I can only take one relative, the nurse, the patient. If it doesn't need a nurse, then yeah, I can take two watchers. I mean, two watchers or two relatives with the patient. So we were praying for a bigger airplane so more family members can go with their loved ones. And that's what the weather looked like. It cleared up really nice. Beautiful VFR for that day going in. This was just a photo we took for our records at the end of the mission. So shout out to you, nurse. Good morning. Nurse Joy. Yes, a lot of people know her because they were tagging her in my post. So those who are watching from Instagram and Facebook, I mean YouTube, if you want to keep up minutely with the missions, with more posts and pictures and stuff and some stories, Facebook is your best option. Yeah, I know it can be a toxic place, but it is what it is. Just make an account. Don't follow your family and friends who might get toxic for you. Just make an account, call it some weird name, use some random picture, and just follow Flying by Faith on Facebook. And I guarantee you, you'll be really inspired with the stories. Shout out to these guys, man. They're awesome. They are the ground crew of Sir Jas there in Sangley Point Airport. When I show up, they just make sure I'm taken care of with water, transportation. They help with flight plan. If I need to fuel the plane, pack it, anything. These guys are the guys who help me a lot to survive on the ground. So good morning to you guys. Shout out to Sir Jas who always allow his team to help me whenever I come through and I need help. So we're gonna watch a video of the deboarding. So some of you are always wondering, how do we get the patient off the airplane? So if they're laying down on a stretcher, spinal board, spine board, etc., we we always what's this? We always remove the door. Yeah, we remove the door so that the patient can comfortably get off the airplane. Oh Lord. I'm trying to adjust my screen for you guys, but it's not the easiest. Uh, okay. Yeah, based on the layout, um, yeah, yeah, I think the format is the challenge. Anyways, so that's how we get them off the airplane. We remove the door. The Department of Health comes with their ambulance, and they're the ones who facilitate the transport. So that's the mom just taking her, doing what she can to assist. So we got him safely off his island and took him to another island, so that he can, get the care that he needs. After that mission, um, we had another one. I think it was the next day. Yes, according to my record here, it was a bit busy on this report, guys. Weather was beautiful, and I got a call for another request. It's a pregnancy case out of Cuyo. So Cuyo Island, apparently active labor, baby's not coming down, and they don't have the option to do a cesarean on that island. And that's just one of the reality of these people and the places where they live. Imagine your wife is pregnant and you're not able to have a cesarean option where you live. So you only have two options. You can try the boat if it's available and hope that you make it, which it's about 16 to 18 hours depending on the schedule. Now, if the winds are strong or something is happening and the boats are not going, chances are the mom and the baby would be in a lot of trouble if they don't have a miraculous birth that does not need a cesarean test. I mean, surgery to get that baby out the womb. This was the nurse that accompanied me, Nurse Suzette. Slightly, a lot of people know her, right? A lot of people know her. Did I say Kuyo? I think it's, was this Kulion? Kuyo, Kuyo. Oh man, I'm forgetting stuff here. Anyways, Nurse Suzette was the nurse who accompanied me for that flight. Actually, this is Kulion, and I got stuck there. Yes. So my video and my pictures are not matching each other. Anyway, we'll keep going. So, Nurse Suzette helped me with that patient because a nurse was required, and then she had to be back. So here I am chasing weather and doing everything I can to make sure everyone gets to where they need to get to. By the time I got back, unfortunately, I wasn't able to continue with the next request because of the weather. So I was stuck in Kulion for the very first time in my whole life, guys. I got stuck in Kulion. But nonetheless, it was a blessing. So for that particular mission, Nurse Suzette accompanied me, and then okay. See, this is what happens when I get a little behind, with my report. So now it's clarified. I mean, it's cleared up. So basically, Nurse Suzette accompanied me, with that patient to get to Puerto Princesa. She has a meeting and they asked me to take her back the same day after the mission. While I was on my way to get that mission done with Nurse Suzette, a request came in. Actually, it was three requests. Ah, yes, now I remember. We had an infant under 1 year that was having some challenges with the medical condition from Cagayancillo, and then we had a pregnant lady out of Cuyo who needed to be transported, and then I have Nurse Suzette who needs to go back. And I was like, oh man, how do I do this? So, unfortunately, the baby from Cagayancillo died. Yeah, that baby actually died. Um, the same day when we were contemplating to help the baby. The request came when I was on my way to get Nurse Suzette and her patient to go to Puerto Princesa. Yeah, it's all making sense though. So the baby died, and next thing we had to do is prioritize the next patient. So I asked Nurse Suzette, is it okay if I go? I told her, Nurse, you're gonna be go to the airport. I mean, go to the hospital with the ambulance, and can you just stay there? I'm gonna go help a pregnant lady from um, Cuyo who needs to come to Puerto Princesa. And after I'm finished with that, then I will transport Nurse Suzette to Culion where she needs to be for her meeting. By the time I got there, guys, I am 6.5 hours flight time already. The weather is not good. So now I'm gonna have to spend the night there due to weather in Culion. Yes, that's what happened. I'm getting old, guys, and if I don't take pictures, I won't remember the story. Thanks to Mom and Thea. Actually, belated birthday, Paul. Yeah, it was her birthday this week or last week. Yeah, it was her birthday recently. She coordinated the ambulance, picked me up, and they helped me to find a place. Sir Boots, I believe it's the name, who is anonymous. I've never seen him. Um, but he ensured that I had the best place for my stay there in Culion for that night. They brought me food. I was well taken care of. And then the next morning, the ambulance brought me to the airport. And that's the flight departing back out of Culion. We have a video here, and it's a really nice story, guys. I was so inspired by this story. I was really blessed. I had made a reel of this particular one. It's the pregnant, one of the buntis. We like to call them buntis. Buntis is Tagalog for pregnancy. So I made this reel and I shared the reel on my account. It got a lot of views, and this is the husband right here. That's the father and the husband, right? That reel got thousands of views, guys. Thousands of views. And in the comment section, the dad was nice enough, open enough, that within a few hours when his baby came out, he took a picture of the baby and he basically put it in the comment section of this reel. So this was a reel on my Facebook account, and he tagged me in there, and he said, "God bless Captain, thank you so much." So the girl was born, and she is here. Let me see. I think that I have the photo. Yes, I do. You guys want to see the cute little thing? She is really a sweet little baby girl. I'm gonna show you that. Since he already publicized it, then I have the option to share it with you guys because he did that. If you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see it. You have to go over to my page to be able to see this. Come over to YouTube or Facebook, and you will be able to see it. So I don't know why this thing does not it's not showing the alignment the best. Okay, so yeah, there it is. That's the cute little Lord. Okay, so that's what he commented there. He says, "Thank you so much, Captain. God bless." And I was like, and he actually put that 5 hours after I uploaded the reel. So I didn't get the her name, but look at that, guys. I mean, when I saw this baby's photo, I was so blessed and encouraged because it was a long day for me, 6.5 hours of flight that day, and to see that we have a safe, successful baby that came into this world. Nice little baby girl. It's like, oh, this is so cute. Yeah. So this really it motivated me. It really encouraged me a lot to keep going, right? And that's my flight plan: 600 miles to be able to get that mission done. Okay, so let's go back to our other images that we have. Window is this one. Okay, so I started having some issues with my propeller. I'm picking up some red oil at the time. So after Coolion, I said, man, this propeller is starting to rub me the wrong way. So I called up the guys and I say, hey, get your survival gear. We're going up to Iba. I've never been there before. It's about 45 minutes flight north. I'm gonna go to Iba. I'm gonna go back to the propeller shop that overhauled the propeller over a year ago. And I got there, they're gonna balance it, they're gonna check it. So we pulled it off, and yep, lo and behold, that propeller needs help. Shout out to Cap Reggie from Fast. This is my flight school, guys, and he was one of my flight instructor there at Fast during my CPL days. Well, my commercial pilot's license ground school, CPL ground, and Cap Merrill is also from Fast, so we were so excited that Fast Airplane showed up, and we just had to go get a photo with our flight school. So shout out to Fast if you're ever wanting to get your pilot's license and you're wondering what school is the best in the entire Philippines. I'm not biased. I'm just being practical. Fast, which is Flight and Simulator Training Academy, they are the best in the entire Philippines. Go check them out. So these guys did an amazing job with the propeller. It uh, wasn't a cheap fix, but right after posting about the different challenges and stuff, the propeller cost me 35,000 pesos. And within 24 hours of that message, someone reached out to me and I had two options. So the person who's been donating for the nose fork said, "Hey, use some of that money. It was about $600. Use some of that money to cover for the repairs on the propeller." And then by the time I got into borrowing some money from that, someone reached out to me and said they would like to donate back towards the replenishing that, and I got 50,000 pesos, little shy of 1,000. Right. So basically, that was a huge blessing for me to have. The propeller apparently had a lot of pressure inside the hub, so one of the signs that I saw was liquid was coming out a bit, so it was leaking, and then there was some vibration going on, which was not the norm for me. So Philaz took care of it. I know it's perfectly fine, no more leak, no more vibration. So I'm really happy for the work that they were able to do. We ended up being stuck there for the night, but that was just a part of it. So they had to reseal the propeller basically. They had to reseal it. And while I was there, yep, the request was coming in and coming in and coming in. One of them was basically I needed to transport the young boy back home. So after I got him out, I got a message that he's not going to make it. The doctors cannot do anything for him. It's a hopeless case, and they want to transport his body back home before he dies. Challenge is the weather was not cooperating. I had good enough weather to get back to base, but not enough to do the mission that particular day. So I got back, dropped the guys off, and then yeah, just spend the night. Then the next day we had planned that we're gonna get the mission done as best as we can. So that's the plane back in the hangar. And for info here, if you ever want to partner with us for fuel, that's my greatest fear, guys. My greatest fear is not having enough fuel to do some of these missions. Reach out to me and let me know if you want to partner to be a part of our Fuel Patreon group. So it's a group of people who make sure that we always have fuel for our mission. Some days when life is just tough and these requests are coming in, I feel so helpless. I'll go for a walk. The airstrip has sugarcane on the left and the right. I have my Leatherman, and I always find a nice one, chew on that, and go for a couple laps up and down the strip just to pray and talk to God and challenge Him and ask Him to help me to have the faith and the drive and the encouragement to keep going. Guys, I'm human and I get really bombarded with some of these requests. So get a little comfort food. I get to true clean up my teeth and walk and pray and talk to the Lord. So the plan was to do this mission. So we're gonna do a couple of things. This is another request, another pregnant lady that needed some help to get off her island to be able to do another cesarean section. If you've been following me long enough, you would know that. And I mean, I think sometimes we just take these things for granted where when you have the privilege to just rush your pregnant, whether wife or girlfriend, fiance, or relative, to the hospital nearest to you and they can comfortably do a cesarean and the baby is out, see it as a real blessing and a privilege. Don't complain about traffic, okay? There's people who their complaint is there's no OB-GYN to perform a cesarean section. Imagine that. You're on this island, you're having a baby, and you know, this one was a very complicated case because I noticed that when we arrived, the nurse was trying to find a heartbeat. So I think, according to the diagnosis, the baby was somewhat in a turn, and so they're trying to find a position. And I remember she had the searching, where is this baby right now? I don't know what's the outcome. I didn't get any feedback from this particular mission. The only thing I know is that the mother was pretty strong. She actually walked in and out of the airplane. She wasn't in a lot of pain much. But the doctor was very concerned. And it's a boy. And I remember when I was putting her seatbelt on, I said, Ate, is this a boy or girl? And she said, it's a boy. I said, there, boys will be boys. Boys give a lot of trouble, right? They can be very complicated. So we're praying and hoping that that baby came out already. But yeah, here she is with the machine trying to find the heartbeat of the baby. And I remember she was really putting a lot of that sticky stuff on the tummy and rubbing, and the machine making all kind of weird sound. She was searching for the heartbeat, and finally she was able to find it. So we know the baby was alive. I wanted to get some little maintenance done, so shout out to Zach, my buddy there, who is a mission pilot who helps me on this airplane all the time. And I met a new guy, Ray. He's an aspiring mission pilot. Um, so he came out. We were there working on the plane, and we were just checking a couple of things. We were baroscoping to look at the cylinders of what's going on. We checked the magnetos if they're perfectly timed and how they're doing, and we worked on the brakes. So shout out to Claire Ibanez. If you go to my YouTube channel, you will find a video there called "The Missionary Mechanic," how his parents played a key role in helping him to become a mission pilot, a missionary mechanic. When he's not working on airplane, he works on the tricycle and motorcycle of individuals in the community. He has an amazing story, and I was able to capture it on camera. So go check that out. If you go to YouTube, it's very easy to find it. There's a playlist called "In the Studio." You can look up that video by Clear. So he worked on my brakes for me, and also greased my bearings. Sunset was coming down. I was on the last few hours before sunset, and the weather was fine, but I made sure I got up to Puerto Princesa so that I can prep and get the plane ready for this mission that I had for the next day. When I was getting the plane ready, I had the privilege of getting a ride that evening, actually, and then being dropped off in the morning. So, shout out to Cap Sean Knapp. Um, He's been here the longest, flown the most patient, the most hours. This guy right here. I had the privilege of tagging along with him for 3 weeks back in 2015 before I went to flight school. He was flying a beat up 150 horsepower Cessna 172 Mike model. And remember, it was hot. I used to watch him take off, and it looks like that airplane wasn't climbing. And he would get back to base, and I said, "Well, were you climbing?" He's like, "Yeah, I was, but pretty shallow." So, anyways, tagging along with him for that 3 weeks before I went to flight school really inspired me. And I'm coming up. I'm in my 8th year flying missions, so it's always a blessing to run into Captain Sean Knapp, who serves as the mission pilot there and director for the Palmas Palawan Air Base. Uh, so in order to get the patient back home, the one that 15-year-old, at this point, the doctors cannot help him. So now he needs to go home. But I cannot do the mission because he's incubated. Someone that needs to breathe for him with an ambu bag. So it needed a nurse. So we coordinated, and Nurse Lisa was willing to volunteer herself to come for free. So the goal is gonna be we're gonna fly from Puerto Princesa. We're gonna go to Sangley Point Airport. We will pick up the patient, take him to San Vicente, and then on my way back, I'm gonna help another patient. So that was the plan in theory. Did things go as planned? Not really. The weather was fine when we departed, so weather was not an issue. But time, we don't have all the time in the world because it takes about 3 hours to get there. And then, if people don't really show up on time, then you're going to have some other complications, basically, in the event that, things are not coordinated. So we got there, and we landed, and we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, waited. We just kept waiting and waiting. And while waiting for the patient to show up, unfortunately, we got the saddest news ever. The patient didn't make it. 15-year-old died in the hospital. And so Nurse Lisa and I know we're left with no choice. This was a Friday. And so we said, hey, they were trying to prepare the body on time so I could take it back home. But unfortunately, I reached my cutoff time, which was 2 p.m. They couldn't get to the airport by 2 p.m. So I told the doctor and the family, I have to go back to base and spend the Sabbath, and then I will try and help them next week, Sunday, because at this point, he already died. Time is running out. I don't want to be doing a 2.5 hour flight at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It's just not safe because 2 o'clock came, and they're still preparing the body to take to the airport, which is another half an hour drive if everything flows well. So we get airborne 3, the latest or earliest, for a 2.5 hour flight. That takes me to San Vicente about 5 o'clock. If I can't make that, my next alternate is 30 minutes away. I don't want to be chasing sunset. No, not happening. So I told them, I'm sorry, I'll go home, regroup. So we got back to base. It was time to do the oil change for the airplane. So we just did that, and Nurse Lisa spent. Then we went out, grabbed some dinner, that evening, and told her you can stay with the guys. Hotel in that place is very expensive, so you can stay with our team in their apartment. They'll take care of you. Um, and guess what, guys? I used my last 10 quarts from the drum of oil. Yep, last 10 quarts right on the money. So remember our matching donation that we got a chance to raise. So we were challenged by a donor to put together 8,000, $4,000, and he will match it with another four. We reached the goal, and one of the things that we were gonna do with the $8,000 is to get a drum of oil, and we were able to get it. I Sabbath came, Nurse Lisa hung out with us and enjoy a good Sabbath lunch, and that's a drum of oil, guys. Yep, we were able to get a nice drum of oil. So the last 10 quarts went into the airplane. The weather wasn't the best, so I went into Manila the Monday and I picked up this drum of oil, fully paid for in cash, 140 something thousand pesos. Man, I was so happy. I did the calculation and I found out that that drum that just finished lasted us from December 2022. It almost made it to December 2025. And I was doing oil change at every 25 hours. So almost 3 years, right? So now that I can do my oil change at 50 hours, by God's grace, this drum of oil should serve me double. Okay. So I don't have any issue to worry about when it comes to oil anytime soon. And I just want to pause to say to my donors who came together to make sure we raise that $4,000 within 30 days. Um, Now we have a drum of oil, and I don't have to worry about oil for the next 4 5 years. Okay, what does that mean? If we didn't have this drum of oil, I would have to be on a 6 hour drive round trip to get two boxes, which is only 10 quarts. Okay, six each, or 12 quarts rather. So having a drum of oil at base, best setup ever. So thank you guys so much. We were able to handshake that off, sign it off, and give them their beloved money. Merches are out for those who are wondering. So the weather was a challenge, and day after day after day, the weather wouldn't hold. The requests kept coming in more and more, and we were able to pick up some merch. If you see that bracelet on my hands, guys, my neighbor's kids made that for me. They made it for me, gave it to me. Yeah, and I wear it because whenever I go in and out of my gate and they come to say hi, they see that bracelet. The smile on their faces. I haven't done much for these kids. I mean, one, I give the parents bigas or rice. Whenever I get general donation, a portion of that I buy this rice and I give it to them. So they are one of the families that I give it to, and the kids are pretty much Tagalog. They'll say a little bit in English. So when they came and they said, Gavin, first they thought my name was Gavin. So when they came, the thing has my name on it, Gavin, but I'm not Gavin. So they changed the G to D and then gave it to me. And I was like, it's just a blessing to know that they just see me go in and out, and whatever came to their mind, they thought about me, came together, and they made me a nice handcrafted homemade bracelet. That was a beautiful thing. So merches are out, guys. I told you to message me if you'd like to get one. We have a video actually. We're gonna watch that video of how you can get one of these merches. I just lost my screen. Unfortunately, I cannot access this thing. Lord help me. Yeah, okay. I'm having so much. I gotta manipulate so many windows, and unfortunately, it's not showing stuff. Okay, let's see if this will show. I can't play it. It's not. It's not allowing me to see the bottom of the screen. My lord. And if I close it, I'm gonna lose the whole thing altogether. Okay. And it won't play. Okay, I can play it. Okay. And then the alignment is so off. You know what? Let me get out of that stuff. Okay, let's see. Just bear with me here, guys. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. Okay, that's better. No, it's not. Um, but sometimes it's so hard to manipulate this thing. I don't know why I have this black screen showing in the distance. Lord have mercy. So yeah, basically, for some interesting reason, this thing is not showing you guys. I don't know where this black screen is from. That's not me. It's just some issues with this software. It's like a pain right now. Oh well, it is what it is. Life. So yeah, it's not allowing me to really show you guys the thing, so it's kind of to the side, but I hope you can see it nonetheless. So that's the second pregnant lady that we safely got in there. We don't know if she gave birth or not, but we are hoping she did. um, this was me pre-flight in the plane early that morning. So when we were gonna pick up the 15-year-old to take him home, my day started around 5:30 because sunrise is almost 6, so I make sure I'm there early enough to get the airplane ready. And that's just my life, and I'm being followed by some young aspiring pilot. If you're not an early riser, forget it. This is not for you. You have to learn how to wake up early in the morning. Because early bird catches the worm. In this case, the worm is best weather. Okay. That's what you want to do. So I like pre-flight in the plane early with a flashlight. You get to see stuff that you wouldn't otherwise see. So being able to shine the light on that thing. So thanks to my buddy who sent me this awesome flashlight that he got on Amazon. They're rechargeable, so they're really good. I like them. High beam. And yeah, that's what it's like getting this thing ready. Okay, that's speaking up our shirts, tons of them. So basically, what happened was a number of donors opted to support what we were doing in the community, and in exchange for their donation, we gave them some of them. We're in the process of shipping it now. So those who donated, you know yourself, look out for your shirt in your mail. Huh? We're shipping it off to you this week. Let me turn this up a little bit. Have some audio. So this is supposed to be an edited video, guys, but we're gonna give it to you uncut, unedited. That's one of the challenges I have where I don't have uh I don't have the means to pay people to edit videos for me. I don't have the patience to edit them myself, so they're pretty rough. So for the next 3 minutes, here is how you can get one of our merch for free. All right, so that's the merch, guys. That's what we're doing. We're giving them away to our sacrificial donors who support what we do. So influencers sell merch. I'm not selling no merch to the Filipino people, at least. If you partner with us, one of the ways that we show you our appreciation for your gift is 1,000 pesos or more donation. So that means if you are not able to give at least 1,000 pesos, you won't be able to get a merch. But if you're able to make a sacrifice and give at least 1,000, we will definitely get your info, and you get ours. You make the donation and you give us your 3 colors with your name, address, and we'll do our best to get that to you as soon as we can. We've made an arrangement with the embroidery shop that, if we are able to put together 40, at least 40, they will give us a discount on the embroidery thing. So they'll take a few pesos off if we do it in batches of 40. It's not a close place to us, unfortunately. It's a far drive. Round trip, it's about 6 hours. So we would have to be consolidating the donation and the list to be able to go in there, get the colors and the stuff and the sizes, hand it to them, and then we're gonna potentially ask them to LBC it to us so it's a bit cheaper, where because gas and toll to go in there is not the easiest, right? So that's why, yeah, you gonna just reach out to us. We'll give you more info on how you can do that. The other mission came up, and here's our little missionary vehicle that I had a request, and so the plan was to take the cadaver home. After dropping off the cadaver, I'm gonna pick up a patient on the way back. That was the original plan. But then another request came up from Lubang. So I'm going to go to Lubang. Let me see if I actually have a picture of that flight path. I think I do. Let's see. I can use this image to help you guys. It's not the same, but it will help. But let's finish the video first. So basically, Top Mariel, my little ground crew, she's gonna take some extra fuel up to Sangli Point Airport with the X-Rail, meet me there with the fuel, because the weight of the patient for the first leg restricts me from topping off the plane with fuel. So the most I can carry is 7 hours of fuel. I need to have at least 9 hours of fuel. So I'm short 2 hours of fuel, right? And so I asked her, okay, get up early, get 20 gallons of fuel, at least 5 bottles rather, which is 25 gallons of fuel. Put it in the X-Rail and meet me at the airport. I'm going to go to this little island first, pick up that patient and watch her. Then I'm going to go there, drop them off, then take the cadaver to San Vicente, and then which is the body of the 15-year-old. After San Vicente, I will go to Culion to pick up a patient from Culion. It's a gentleman who they were welding in the shop, and unfortunately there was a butas, they call it, or a hole in whatever they were welding. I think it was a tank. They were welding it, there's a hole, and they didn't know that it had a hole and there's fuel inside. So the thing exploded and burned the guy's face. Now he needs to do a plastic surgery. The ER actually called us, please, can you expedite picking up that patient? So we're doing the best that we can. But yeah, I saw his face really burned, guys. I could see through a little bit, and his face was really, really burnt there a bit. So, anyways, I was basically able to. So, anyway, so that was the plan, right? I just got distracted a little bit. That was the plan, basically, to help that. So 3 missions. It's 600 miles. Actually, yeah, I have a photo of the layout. So before I show you the picture, this is the video. As you can see, the X-Rail is having some issues. The engine check light came on, right? The engine check light is on. It's smoking, but it's working. And I don't know what in the world is going on with it. Back okay. So, as nervous as Cap Merrill was, she took the journey to go up to Sangli. And on her way there, the temperature started to spike. It's giving some issues. And unfortunately, she never made it in time to catch me. Right? So I was like, oh man, here we go. It was a journey and a half, guys. And, I just pause at this point in the report and say, this is not for everybody. I mean, the struggles, the hardship, and the suffering, it's intense. And as I said, you would think after doing it for, this is my 8th year, that it would get easier, but it doesn't get easier. It actually gets harder and harder. And the only thing I have to say to myself is, okay, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, just keep going. That's all I can tell myself. It's hard, it's difficult, but just keep going. Um, and that's just the reality of life. Patient number one was helped. He got out. That was nice. And next, yep. Yeah, I don't know why the black screen is a part of the video here. Sorry. I made this video for a reason. So a couple weeks ago, I had a individual. I guess it was a couple individuals rather. Like I was facing this criticism where people are saying, "Why do you make these missions about you?" That was their feedback. It's like I'm making the missions about me, where I do have this emotional experience. I feel hurt and different things. And someone was saying, just focus on flying the airplane. That's your job. You're the pilot. Just fly the airplane. So I'm taking my camera with me to take you along to say, how do you just fly the airplane? Now, if I was in the States and I have like a Pilatus 12, a King Air 350, oh yeah, for sure. You can just fly the airplane because you got a crew, you have staff, and you can get in easily. You get in the airplane, there's a curtain, there's a door. You close that, and you're closed off and disconnected completely from what's happening at the back. You don't know who is on board, what's on board. All you know is you're gonna sit in the cockpit, do your thing, and you just fly the airplane. When you have a Cessna 182 built in 1975, that's not your job. That's not your life. So I'm hands on. When I'm not bringing the cadaver myself, I'm assisting the patients to get in as well, helping to load them. Now, being the human being that I am, who has my heart on my sleeve, imagine if I had a bigger airplane. Yeah, you load it up, you call me when it's ready, and I go do my thing, right? But when you fly a small plane like this, you have to be the one to physically load it in the airplane. There were times I used to get help, but some of the guys, they're too big, right? Sometimes they weigh 200 pounds, and they will go in the back of the airplane, making my tail slam on the ground at the back, could damage something. I said, no, 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 no. So I cannot leave the ambulance workers or the cadaver I mean the ones who come with the what's this? The from the morgue, yes, the morgue workers. I cannot let them because sometimes they're big and they don't know where to stand, so their weight doesn't go further back. And so, for those who are wondering why the mission seemed to be about me, which it's not, it's because I'm pretty much hands on. I'm handling the patient, I'm handling their deceased. Sometimes they would even give it to me and it's just a cadaver and I. And for those who are hearing the term cadaver, that's what they call it in the Philippines. It's a term they use for someone who died. It's called a cadaver. Okay. If you're first time hearing that, welcome to the Philippines. And that's why the mission seemed to be the way it is when I write these stories because I don't have the option to just sit somewhere far, let them board and load, and then I just show up with my uniform and fly. I have to be the one to handle these people coming in and out. That's why I don't go to the gym, but lifting, sometimes I've had patients weighing like 300, 400 pounds. Yep. And my help helps, and stuff like that. In the pandemic, it was a lot more intense. I had to do a lot of them myself because the ground crew or whoever came with the ambulance were not allowed to come close. So I had to load small babies, infants, all by myself in and out of the airplane. And that's the body of the young boy brought safely with his dad. It was a very emotional experience. Oh, I thought you guys were able to see my screen here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the dad was really crying because he wasn't able to go. So he never. The last time he saw his son was when he loaded his son on the airplane. I don't know if he got a chance on the boat to go be with them during the hospitalization process. The mother was very emotional as well when I picked her up because she was saying in Tagalog, I'm stranded for so many days because we had to wait day after day. Nurse Lisa was waiting with me, but her work needed her back ASAP, so she couldn't wait any longer. She had to take commercial flight back home. And so we got that done in San Vicente to help the patient. I mean, to help the family to have closure with their loved ones. And that's the dad right there in the hoodie climbing up. Yeah, he was just so emotional. Um, and for me, I was emotional as well, but because I had another mission and more flying to do that day, I had to set that emotion aside, hop in the airplane, and get going ASAP. So condolences to the bereaved family. We hope that God can. We pray that God will give them the strength to keep going. With the broken car still putting along, they've given issues with temperature and the engine check light is on. Cap Merrill picked me up because I was able to get the third mission done actually. Yep. I got the third mission done and then I got stuck at that airport that night. I did. I got stuck and Cap Merrill had to rescue me. So we refueled the plane for the next flight for the next day. And she picked me up and I was able to find a place for the night. And so that was a huge blessing for me that she was willing to keep going with the vehicle. That's Sir Willie. Awesome, guys. Shout out to you, Sir Willie. Good morning to you from Lubang. He's the head of the LGU there in Lubang. Still help me to coordinate these flights. Um, I was passing base, so I looked like the weather was going to be awesome. I had the patient on board with me and I looked at base. So this is my airstrip is somewhere here. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be able to make it, but it's tight. I'm running out of time, and so if the ambulance does not show up on time, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. So this is a gentleman who the tank exploded with him at work and damaged his face enough that he's gonna need to do a plastic surgery to restore his face physical features or facial features. And unfortunately, the ambulance did not show up on time. Yeah, the ambulance didn't show up on time. So we were not able to get out. So I missed my one little window of opportunity. So I ended up being stuck there. Thanks to Sir Jasper and the crew, they were able to allow me to park the plane on the inside, which is good. That means I spend less time securing it. Like I don't have to put the cover because it's inside and it's hangered. So that was a huge blessing. This is the troublesome vehicle. If you look here, the photo is a bit blurred, but the engine check light is on at this point. We have no other choice but to push this crippled vehicle around to find food and a place to stay for the night. And then, yep, lo and behold, I got back to base that day. The next day, I flew back and we decided we're going to try and work on the vehicle. Couple of days passed, and that's where we will end the report. So the last mission is why the caption is what it is. So we have a typhoon coming in, and I'm gonna look for the image here. Okay. All right. So there's a low pressure system actually developed into a category 5 storm, and it's gonna hit the north more than anywhere else. It's gonna affect Batanes, Calayan Island. Um, Lord, so bear with me, guys. I'm navigating everything all by myself. Share window, yes. This one. Okay. So if you look on this stuff, 203 kilometers per hour, strong winds, guys. This was a category 5 hurricane, if you will. But in the Philippines, they call them typhoon, right? These are low pressure system. Back in flight school, we refer to it as Lucifer. Once you see the wind bar moving in an anti-clock movement, anti-clockwise movement, it's never good. It gives off low visibility, build up thunderstorm, rain, and a recipe for disaster. When it passes by, after it leaves, the winds pick up, right? That's just how these things work. So, um, that's what's happening. And it was to the north. This is actually an old image. Yeah, that's an old image. It was already past the Philippines because this is Calayan right here. It's already northwest of the Philippines, but the winds you can see the winds were pretty strong. So I had to shut down operation because these winds are like 35, 40 knots winds aloft. I cannot fly with this airplane with those level of strong winds. It's gonna take forever to go where you're going. You're gonna burn a lot of fuel because I cruise around 105, 110 knots. When you take 40 off that, oh, I'm putting along at 60 something. Like it's pointless basically. So I usually have to wait for the winds to calm down. So a second one developed after this. And this is where we'll end the report. A second low pressure system developed, and I think because the people were not so prepared for the first, the meteorological center of the Philippines exaggerated the second one. They actually showed it was going to project to pass over me. And somehow people in the Western world were thinking that there's this super typhoon beating up the Philippines at this time. Guys, some of these stuff is fake news, and I don't know what's your source, but I remember one guy in the comment section on one of my posts said, "Yeah, there's a 200 miles an hour storm beating up the Philippines." And I pull up the weather app and I'm like, "Where is this thing? It's not here." It was actually 60 miles an hour. But people in the West were being told on the news that it's 200 miles an hour and it's a super typhoon and all this stuff. Being in the Philippines here, I'm glad I'm here because when I see fake news, it really irritates me. Yeah. So, anyways, I had one request at first from Lubang. This is my flight plan. So I'm gonna head out to base, and I am going to pick up a patient in this little island. I'll take them up to Sangli, and then I'll come back home. That was one. By the time the next day came to do that flight, a second one came up. So now it's a double. Um, One lady had leptospirosis, the other one was prolonged fever, weakness, and they're not sure what's going on. So imagine you're on this little island and you're having fever and weakness and you're old. You go to the doctor, they're not sure what's happening with you. So your best option is to take the boat, or there's a mission pilot with a small little airplane. It's 20 minutes away. He will come get you and take you to a facility where you can get better health care. Is leptospirosis something deadly? Yes, it is. So if you don't get that shot, you're not gonna make it. Okay. So I got up in the morning. There's a typhoon way so far from me. Beautiful sky. And I have a video actually, and I'm gonna share that video with you guys shortly. Because I was so mad at this point. But anyway, before I tell you my frustration, so here is the route. Then a third patient popped up. That's why my distance is 378 miles. So by the time I'm gonna get going with the first, a second, then a third one came up. When the third one came up, I knew okay. Usually the LGU has a ambulance that goes on the boat. They get taken up to Batangas, then that vehicle continue to wherever they need to go. More so in Manila area. So when they come at me at three in one go, I already know there is a typhoon coming. It's not yet here, but the seamen are already being told don't travel, don't make any trips. Okay, it's all for safety. I get it. Boats are slow. I get it. But this is the weather right now. That morning, guys. And it was when we filed the flight plan, called up to confirm, the flight plan was rejected. It was not approved. We asked why, and they said a bulletin was issued last night. It's good until 8 o'clock this morning, where all airplanes that is less than 12,000 pounds are not allowed to take off and land because these entire regions are under signal number one. Usually, single signal number one means it's a category one storm. Okay, and they're grounding all small airplane, which is mine. And then I noticed in the bulletin it never said anything about emergency flight where the weather is still safe for flying is okay. They just made it very general. All plane 12,000 pounds or less, or 5,700 kilograms or lighter, um, cannot take off and land during this bulletin when it's in effect. So I'm like, okay, I have three requests. These are people fighting for their lives. I notice in the bulletin it says if I was able to, if it's approved by the general office, then there can be an exemption. I said, okay, that's a gray area. The weather is fine. Let me do everything I can. Guys, I have people who work at the authorities, so I was calling them at 6 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, before we go any further, right? This was the weather. Why I was putting the effort to ask for an exemption to the rules, and I have the video with audio. So imagine you show up that morning. My flight plan was not accepted, so the office told me, "Cap, sorry, but your flight plan was not approved because of this bulletin that the weather and this typhoon." So I made a video, and here it is. Yeah. So you guys saw the weather, right? Did you see the thunderstorm and the heavy rain, the zero visibility, the lightning flashing? Did you see the winds swaying, being beat up by 200 knot winds? Yeah, let me show you again. Look at the trees. Look at the trees, guys. They're blasting at 200 miles an hour winds. Look at that. The bananas are beat up by this 200 mile an hour wind. You know, I'm just saying, fake news is terrible when it goes viral. Like, anyway. So at this point, my frustration is building, but I'm thinking about these lives, and I said, okay, what effort can I exert to try and secure an exemption to the rules? So they said, okay, I think it can be approved. So you got to meet these requirements. Send in a letter of intent with the flight plan, the route, the area, right? Then I got messages that they contacted the airport that I'm gonna land at to ask how is the weather doing. They said it's beautiful, no issue. This is before 7 in the morning. The office opens at 8. Okay. Now, couple hours later, this is me at the hangar. Still waiting. Guys, to prep everything, I brought the plane out, did my run up. So in the event that it gets approved and the weather is still awesome, I don't want to be running engine and checking magneto. I want everything to be ready. Okay. So here's a video of me still in the hangar. 3.5 hours later, I'm in the hangar. I need to change the view here so you can, yeah. 3.5 hours later, I'm in the hangar. Did you guys see the 200 miles an hour wind? Look at the trees, how fast they're blowing. 200 miles an hour wind, guys. It's strong. Yeah, at this point, I don't have words. I was so mad, frustrated, angry, you name it. Because, I mean, I put out the effort to secure a permit. to ask, is there an exemption to this rule to facilitate this emergency? And it was granted, but it was granted late. I actually looked at the forecast and I went out there. Oh, still trying to navigate with this new stuff. I went out. I don't know why it keeps doing this, guys. Um, I gave it the best shot that I could. Yeah, this was what I needed to have. If I had this airplane, I would have done the two in one and then go back for the third. Yeah, but I don't have that. That's a couple million pesos, dollars, not even pesos. That's a multi-million pesos airplane, a multi-million dollar airplane. To maintain it, oh yeah, you need a lot of faith. But this weighs 12,542 pounds. This can take off. And for those wondering why is this, read the thing for yourself. All aircraft with maximum takeoff minimum weight of 5,700 kilograms or 12,500 pounds and below, except in cases as may be approved by the Director General, are strictly prohibited from taking off and landing at airports under typhoon signal number one. A number one typhoon. That thing was nowhere near us for the first 5 hours that morning. And above are in instances as may be declared by the aviation authority. All aircraft with takeoff weight 5,700 kg and below, except in cases as may be prohibited from conducting ground operations. Right? You cannot take off, you cannot land, you cannot do nothing. Right? So I researched what plane would be the minimum of this, and it's a little over it. The closest one after this and above, it's the King Air 350. Um, anyway, enough said about that. So this was what I went through. So the weather was still okay for most of the flight. The forecast, the images on the app was not fully clear for me. So I said, okay, let me give it a try. Um, I'll go out and just get that look. So I went off. So the letter was approved around noon. So I jumped in the plane. I was airborne within 10 minutes after they said that the permit is approved. I took off, guys, and this was what I saw. So I'm on the approach here. Okay, there. I'm on the approach, and if I may zoom in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So I'm on the approach. You see this wall of rain, right? This is from the ocean up. And then these clouds go up to 8,000 feet. And little gaps between, right? So the island is here. This is where the runway is where I'm gonna land. But this wall of rain is coming on my path. So I'm altering my course to the left. Now, these clouds are below 1,000 feet with rain. Now, here's the danger. In activities like this, the outside temperature is 1008, right? You can have microbursts, you will get downdraft, and you will have wind shear. So if you go underneath this, yeah, um, you're already low. You could have downdraft up to 500 foot a minute. Okay, you don't want to mess with this. So I came, I looked at it, I saw that there's no way it's gonna pass over and then open again. It's solid rain coming over and over and over, and it's gonna close off the approach end. So I thought, even if I get in, I will not be able to get out. So I just banked the plane in a U-turn and said, you know what? I'm going home. I ain't dealing with this. The permit came late. Forget about this. It's not happening. So I abandoned the mission. Yeah, this was the thing going there. I was about 4,000 feet cruising along. And yep. So yeah, that was it. Couldn't make it. Um, and I said to distract myself, I went to work on my vehicle. I told you guys in that video that if this flight didn't happen that particular day, it was the only day, only opportunity to do it was between 6 a.m. and finish by 12 noon. The three requests would have taken me 3 hours. Everything flowed, ambulance shows up. I would have helped all three patients. Um, the evening after hell broke loose, the weather deteriorated more and more. I got this message from one of the contacts on the island and said that the patient died. So out of the three, one is already dead. And you know, it's just one of those things that I have to cope with. And when people ask me, when are the times when you want to pack your bag and go home and go back to your country and forget about this world of mission aviation, these are the days when I did everything, like the letter didn't have any exemption per se, except that little gray area that says except as approved by the Director General's office. I saw that as a loophole to put in a request, and I did, but it took hours and hours and hours to um, get it approved. The lady lost her life. Now, a part of me thought about forgetting the rules, let the paperwork follow, do the deed, apologize later kind of thing. But this stuff is issued in a way that if you ever go flying, no matter what you're doing, the fact that you went flying, whether the weather is good or it's an emergency case or not, my license would be, um, yeah, they would take away my license. And I couldn't help anybody else. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna follow the rules and pray that there's an exemption. And by the time it came, it was too late. Lady died, and yeah, yesterday my nice little X-Rail gave up the ghost engine. That's it. Needs to be rebuilt. Transmission needs to be rebuilt as well. And that's kind of how the week ended for me. And that's why I say I'm just lost for words. I have no words. And these are the days I sit down and I think to myself, what am I doing in this country? I mean, I left my little beautiful island, family, friends. The last time I went home was 8 years ago. I come to this country volunteering for free. This is not a job for me. I don't get salary and benefits and income and all that stuff. It's fully volunteer. And you take on these issues and these sufferings and everything. And you ask yourself, how do you shake it and keep going? It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. This week, yesterday actually, I was able to pick up my AV30 that was shipped. They rebuilt it, so it's fine now. I have it. That was a little bit of ray of hope. So thanks to Johnny Air for shipping that for me. Thanks to the donor who donated. It only cost me 1,100 pesos for this little item, but it's safely here now, and I'll let Sir Ariel know, and whenever he has time, he'll put it in the airplane for me. It will be my backup in attitude indicator. Kat Merrill is heading out. She spent a wonderful time with us, and we appreciate her ministry. So we just had a little send off, lunch, brunch, lunch, dinner, lunch, late afternoon. We had a meal just to let her know how grateful I was for her time being with us and the help she administered. She helped to train the guys, flying flight plan and the office, and her help with the community. A lot of the driving when she was around, man, she helped with a lot of the driving. Because she not being around anymore, I'm back to the one driving. I gotta fix this vehicle and get it fixed and transport cargo and stuff around the team whenever I'm not flying. I'm back to being the driver again. So yeah, we will miss her a lot, but we pray for her wherever God leads her next for success, for safety. I know it's aviation related. We'll let her tell you guys what she's gonna do next with her life. But we want to say thanks on behalf of the Fly by Faith family and the guys here at base. We are want to shout out Cap Morning. Thank you for your ministry to us. We really appreciate it. So that's the end of the report. I'm just yeah. I saw some things this week. I'm not gonna get into the details of stuff, but the only thing I will say is very simple. Not everybody in this country appreciates what we do. There's people they couldn't care less. That's the reality. And we have to push and deal with those circumstances and situations. That's the most unfavorable you can imagine. That's just life, right? And it makes me mad sometimes. And sometimes I don't know how to keep going. So I just have to pray and wish for the best at all times. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, there's a song I found. So we're gonna open the Q&A session, and I found a song this week. Just now, actually, I was looking for a song that can just kind of, you know, restore me, if I may use that word. And I found a song, but I don't know how I'm gonna play it. Um, yeah. Okay. Bear with me a little bit, guys. I need to find a way. This week, my setup is gross. Like, it's so terrible. I don't know how to get this thing on the screen. Literally, I just don't have any idea anymore what is going on. Like, every time they keep updating this app and bringing some weird features into it, and it just make life harder for me to function. I'm gonna try and add a source here. Um, okay, what I'm gonna do is, uh, okay, I'm gonna pull that out. Yeah, yeah, this song is really it helped me a lot. Share screen. I want a particular window, so I'm gonna choose this. Okay, there we go. If I do that, I'm not able to show it any bigger, but this is a song that will. Are you guys able to hear it? Yeah, someone just commented that there's no sound. Are you guys able to hear the song? Let me know in the comment section if you can hear the thing, and then we can fix it and then start it over. But yeah, it's a really good song. It helped me a lot this week, and I don't want to waste it. So, did you guys were you guys able to hear the song or not? Let me know in the comment section here. Do you have audio? Because this app just messed up this week, and I don't know why they are always updating the thing and putting features, and it's yeah. Lex said there's no sound. 9:54, which is 2 minutes ago, which means he's not able to hear the song. Are you able to hear the song, Lex? Uh, Hold on. Is it playing? There's no sound, right? Yeah. Hold on. All right, hold on, guys. Yeah, this stuff is just it's just yeah, one of those weeks, guys. One of those days. I don't know what's the issue here. I don't know what's the problem. They did something with the app this week, and we're trying to figure out why the videos are not being played. I mean, you guys can hear me, but if I'm playing any clips, it's not showing any of those audios for whatever it's worth. And Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the deal. If I don't, yeah, I need to figure out this song a little bit, but I know they were flagging me for copyright stuff before. Oh, I know what's the problem, guys. I know what's the problem. I found it. So, all right. I gotta end my live here. I mean, I won't be able to share any clips. I found the problem, and I don't want to talk about it on this live. So, but I know what the issue is, and I'll remedy it next week. Um, but yeah, I found the issue. All right, so that's pretty much it for our report. You can go listen to that song in your own time. I need to get off this feed for now. Just keep me in your prayers. I'll do the same for you guys. Next week, next month, next year. But at this point, for me, I know I have to keep going, but it's not the easiest. Catch you guys later. Bye.